So, since this topic is related to infrastructure, so I have a quote from Tom Kelly, Vice President of Worldwide Training Cisco Systems in 2002, that is, infrastructure is just like God if you consider internet as the king. So, infrastructure is very, very good, important for any institution, for any country. Since this talk is confined to National Knowledge Network, so I have made a brief presentation on NKN. As you can see that it is a state-of-the-art gigabit plan of India network for providing connectivity to all the universities and all the colleges throughout India. That is, all the 600 universities and 22,000 colleges are being covered by it. Every university, all larger universities are being provided with 1 Gbps connectivity, and colleges will be provided with 10 Mbps connectivity. So far, 510 educational institutions have already been networked through this. So that is a very big plan of the Ministry of Human Resource Development. That is 11 5-year plan, and I think by the end of March, many more institutions will be connected to this network. What is the purpose of this? You can see that to connect the scientists, researchers, different universities, different colleges, their resources will be shared by each other through this network. So that is the main advantage of this. Here you can see NKN features, educational institution, CERT-in, EduSat, MP, a number of things are given here, and from this you can get an idea what is the significance of this. It has got many applications. Country-wide classroom will be possible, collaborative research will be possible, grid computing, virtual library. All the libraries in different institutions, in different universities and colleges will be connected, so you can just imagine how useful it will be. Sharing of computing resources and e-governance. So all this comes under this NKN. That is not so significant. Okay. Ministry of Human Resource Development during 11th plan has spent a lot of money in the development of content, because they want that our universities and colleges should have a lot of content available depending upon their courses, and they should be provided connectivity and so on. So 4,600 crores of rupees have been sanctioned during this plan only, out of which 2,000 crores have been provided for development of content based on the UGC syllabi, standard syllabi given by UGC. And I think many of you might be knowing that anyone can submit a project from college or university, and many people are participating in this. Initially, to start a project, to submit a project, the ministry gives about 7 lakhs of rupees for a course of 40 hours duration. And one of the conditions is no project is rejected by the ministry. All the projects which are submitted, they are accepted after modification, after further modification and so on. So that is the beauty of this project. And the aim is, you see, once it is created, all the contents will be available on a server. Sakshat site is there, you can see, I will show in a moment. All the content will be available, and any Indian would be able to use it free of cost. Not only that will be on the wiki model. You can update it, you can improve that. So this does not mean that, this simply means that it will not be old, it will always remain new. That is the basic feature of this. So government is spending 2,000 crores of rupees on e-content. Yesterday someone in the audience was asking a question to some speaker that, or maybe with the members who are in the dais, what the government is doing for taking you see content to the smaller villages and so on. For example, rural areas, they don't have connectivity. So government is trying making every effort to provide connectivity not only to, you see, colleges and universities in the big cities, but also in remote areas. So through this, I mean, everyone will be connected, good content would be available, and content are being designed not by private players, but you see, these are being designed by university teachers and college teachers. That is the beauty of this. So networking, as I have already told you, networking of 600 universities and 22,000 colleges will be done under this. NPTEL project, you know, that was started by the IITs, and that is also being funded under the NMEICT project. Development of low-cost computers, that has already been realized. Now, you know, Akash tablet is available at a cost of about 3,600, I think, or 3,700. And last week, the ministry sent a circular to the universities that how many computers, these tablets universities are going to purchase, so that the ministry can subsidize. Ministry will subsidize by 50%. That is, a student has to pay only about 1,700 or 1,800 rupees. So that is already going on. Ministry has already placed order for 1 lakh computers, tablets, but in future, several lakhs of tablets will be procured by the ministry depending upon the requirement of the universities and colleges. So I think those who do not have it, or maybe those do not have any information about this, they can also, I mean, contact the ministry for this, and ministry is providing all the help, because 50% funds will be provided by the ministry. Sakshat is the site. You can see that is server is currently based in placed in IGNOU, and if you want to submit a project, you can submit a project on Sakshat server. So all the content would be available. That is how our national knowledge network will be utilized. NPTEL, you know, that is also being funded by the ministry under the same plan, and hundreds and hundreds of video lectures on YouTube are now available that are available free of cost, and those have been designed basically for sciences as well as all the engineering subjects. Talk to a teacher, that has been developed again under the same project by IIT Bombay, Professor Kannan Mudgalia, and that was launched only last year. Any engineering student can ask any question from any college or university, can ask any question in science or engineering, and answer will be provided to him. So you can see that how useful it is. Another important feature of this is development of open source ERP. Nowadays we have ERP available, but that is very, very expensive. The ministry is proposing to have ERP for the universities. And you can see that coordinating institution is IIT Kanpur, and partner institutions are these 8 institutions which are taking part in development of ERP. Different type of ERPs. Someone is involved in admission process, someone in examination, someone in stores, and so on. So, and that will be in the open source. That will also be available free of cost to every institution, and they can use it. And finally, because it is not yet ready, but anyone can use it, anyone can modify it depending upon his or her upon the requirement of the institution. Now, apart from that, you can see that a lot of content is available throughout. For example, MIT Open Course, where I think everyone knows that MIT was the pioneer in this, and you can have a lot of resources available from the MIT Open Course website. SOFIA, Open Learning Initiative, Carnegie Mellon Open Course, where of the United Nations University. I have mentioned only a few. Kyoto University, Open Courseware, Osaka University, Rice University, Sofia. So, I mean, you search on the web, and from very reputed universities, you can find the content available free of cost in the open source. Apart from that, there are a number of courses which are also available free of cost, and you can just search those courses. Virtual labs that are also, you see, have become a possibility now. For instance, that was initially started by MIT. Many sophisticated experiments cannot be performed, you see, by universities and colleges only for the reason that they don't have enough funds. Now, sitting in India, you can perform experiment in MIT. That has become a reality. Virtual labs and simulations. That is also, you can see that has become possibility. And under the NMEICT project of the ministry, IIT Roorkee and IIT Delhi have developed virtual labs. And you see, their lab facility, those virtual lab facilities can be shared by any college or university depending upon the availability of the type of experiments they have developed. What we are doing, FTK CIT, that is FTK Center for Information Technology of our university, we are having a number of activities: internet, email, web management, data center, software development, intranet services, computer training to the staff, knowledge management, and MIS and e-governance. I thought that I should also mention what we are doing. We have a very good network. For example, up to 2010, you can see that we had 100 number of switches. We had about 169 and 171 kilometer of optical. 171 is the kilometer UTP cables, and 30 kilometers of optical fiber we had in our campus. But now that has increased. This year, I mean, before I came here, now we have 6,850 nodes in our university. We have provided facility to each student hostel room. Free of cost connectivity is provided to everyone. We do not charge anything from anyone. This is a snapshot of the, you see, our network. Internet bandwidth growth, you can see over the years we have been increasing our internet bandwidth. Currently we have 1 Gbps bandwidth from NKN, National Knowledge Network, and 34 Mbps from other private sources. Wi-Fi users in the university is increasing very fast. Number of students who are using the Wi-Fi is increasing day by day. And internet bandwidth utilization, you can see, that is also very impressive. So that is about this. We have management information system of our own, and in Northern India we are the only university who has its own management information system with 20 modules and available 24/7 across the campus. And we cover right from admission to examination. All the, you see, different types of modules that you can generally think of are taken care. Of course, when you can go into further refinement, you can have more, but we have at the moment 20 modules. We have just upgraded the infrastructure. Our internet multimedia lab is there for the to facilitate the students, PhD students, and also provide training to faculty as well as staff members of the university. Our portal has now, new portal has now come up, and behind this, the role of the, you see, leaders of the university has been very important. I have compared two photographs, one of 2003 and the other of 2010, where one of the vice chancellors is attending our MIS presentation when it was under development. In 2010, our present vice chancellor, he was having, attending a workshop where all the directors and deans and head of department were called to attend the workshop for file tracking system, which we introduced last year, and on which in the World Education Summit 2010 we got the Best Jury Award. That was organized again by Center for Science Development and Media Studies and ELETS. So with this brief presentation about NKN and its usage and what can be done, I thank you for a patient hearing. Thank you.